Hey class, we're still on the distributive property, but today we're on part 3. Today we're going to practice actually drawing a diagram. We're going to start with the product, the times expression, and we're going to change it into an equivalent sum expression, a plus expression. So we're going to draw the rectangle using the times, and then we're going to use that rectangle to find the plus that's hiding inside. All right, so here's our one example. The directions on the top say, draw a rectangle area model for the expression 4 parentheses 2c plus 3 parentheses. All right, I'm going to rewrite that. It said the 4 parentheses 2c plus 3 parentheses. Right? So I'm going to write 4. I'm going to write 4, and then parenthesis, and then inside was 2c plus 3. Here we go in green. 2c plus 3. Okay. So this is kind of a really weird way to say that phrase, that expression, 4 parentheses 2c plus 3. Right? So the way that we should really be saying that phrase, let's try again. The way we should really be saying that phrase is 4 times. So I want you to notice the 4 that's in front is going to stay out in front. I'm going to call that 4 times. Right. 4 times. All right. Now the next words here are a little bit complicated. We call that the quantity. The quantity of. And then I'm going to put everything that's inside the parentheses together. So this part inside, 2c plus 3, that's going to come next. 4 times the quantity of 2c's, struggling here, 2c plus 3. Okay, so here's why this matters. When I read this, instead of 4 parentheses 2c plus 3, as 4 times the quantity of 2c plus 3, this literally tells me how many times I need to write what was inside the parentheses. So this word, the quantity of, is telling you that something is in parentheses. The part that comes after that 2c plus 3 is what was inside the parentheses. So we're going to see 2c plus 3, we're going to see it 4 times. So in order to see it 4 times, I need to take this rectangle and cut it in fourths. And I'm going to cut it the long way, in fourths. Right? So I want you to see that there are now 4 long rectangles hiding inside. So I can put that 4 here because that means 4 splits, 4 parts up and down. There are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There they are. All right. So it's 4 times 4 repeats of what was inside the parentheses. So inside the parentheses, I can see 2c plus 3. So I'm going to write that down. 2c plus 3, 2c plus 3, 2c plus 3, 2c plus 3. Okay. Furthermore, that plus that's in between the 2c and the 3, this plus here, this plus right here, this is where we need to make the vertical line that splits our rectangle. Remember, we've been working with split rectangles, right? So I'm going to make a line going up and down right through my rectangle the whole way down, up and down. I might make it a little bit thicker here. This is where our splits are. Notice on the left side you can see 2 c's, and on the right side you can see 3. Try to get rid of those pluses there. All right, mostly gone. Really carefully, there we go. All right, so 2 c's on the left, 2c, and on the right, we see 3. On the right is 3, on the left is 2c. On the left is 2c, on the right is 3. On the right is 3, on the left is 2c. Okay, At this point, I can add up all the 3's on the right side. So I'm going to write those down. There's a 3, and another 3, and another 3, and another 3. This is the same as saying 4 times 3. And you might know 4 times 3, and if you didn't know 4 times 3, you could put those in a calculator. That's 12. On the right side, we have 4 3's. Together, that makes 12. On the left side, we have something a little more complicated. On the left side, in the blue here, I see 2C, 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 and 2C. I'm going to rewrite 2C in a way that makes more sense to me. So I'm going to start in the bottom. If it says 2C, I am literally going to write C plus C. Because I can see, S-E-E, I can see 2 letter C's. That's the same as what's above it. Notice the 2 in front? That 2 in front tells us how many repeats of the variable or the letter behind, right? There are 2 C's, 1, 2. So I'm now going to make each one of these look the same because they all said 2C. So I'm going to change this one here and write 2C, C plus C. I put 2 C's in that part. Change the one above it into C plus C. And then I'm going to change the one above that one into, you got it, C plus C. So on the right side, I took all those 3's and I added them together underneath our blue box. I'm going to do the same thing with the C's in the left side. So in the top one, I can see C plus C. In the one below that, I'm going to still highlight it blue, but just a slightly different color. It almost looks purple. I see another C plus C. In the one underneath that, I see a third set of C plus C. Wow. And then underneath that, I see one more set of C plus C. Plus C plus C. Oh my goodness. That is a lot of C's, right? It is not really all that much fun to write that many C's. So I'm going to count how many there are. Zoom in a little bit and count them. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wrote the letter C 8 times. So I'm going to write that down. I wrote it 8 times. 8 times I wrote the letter C. Right? So the shortcut is saying 8 times C. I'm going to have to just keep practicing with this app. If you didn't notice, I'm using a new one. So I'm going to write 8 times, there's that dot, 8 dot C. That's the same thing as what's above it, 8 times C. And remember, we can also now smush these together and make 8 C's, right? So you heard Mrs. Toivola say 8 C's, not 8C, 8 C's. And if we look back, you can see, oh yeah, there are 8 C's. So on the left side of this line, there are 8 C's total. On the right side, there's 12 total because I can add the 3's. Not 12 C's, there's just 12 because those 3's added together to make 12. So at this point, I can put these together and say I have 8 C's, and 12. Right? And the last step we have to do is change this into a math operation. And means plus. So I'm going to change that. This is really 8 C's and 12. This is the sum expression. This is the sum expression because these two things, the C's and the 12, are connected by a plus. We'll practice more of this in class.